In this video, I'll be covering question 2, part D from the 2021 AP Calculus AB free response calculator required portion of the test. I cover each of the sections A, B, C, and D in their own separate videos, so if you want to look for A, B, and C's answers, you can find those videos as well. Just not on this video. So this question is going to be talking to us. Part D here wants to know about finding the total distance traveled by particle P over this given time interval right here. When we do these problems, there's kind of two different worlds that they sometimes talk about. One is what we talked about really if you go back and watch part A, which is the total displacement. Total displacement is really just talking about from your starting position, where did you end up? And a total displacement integral setup is just integral from a to b of whatever your f of x is dx. And what that tells us is that we treat every, if there's area above the x-axis, that's considered positive area. Area below the x-axis is considered negative area. And we add all of that up. When it comes to finding total distance here, however, total distance wants us to treat all of that area as positive. So when you go to find the total distance, you're going to be taking the integral from a to b. And because you want to treat all the area as positive, you're going to take the absolute value of your equation right there. So when you want to also find total distance or total displacement, you want to use the velocity equation. The velocity equation is going to be the thing that gives you your total displacement or your total distance. So right now we are talking about total distance, and then we want to use the velocity equation specifically for particle P. So the setup on this that we would use was going to want us to find the integral from, and then these are our bounds here. So we'd have a lower bound of 0, an upper bound of pi. And now we're going to take the absolute value of particle P's velocity equation, which they gave us back up in the language of the problem. So the absolute value of the sine of t to the 1.5, and then, oops, not a parenthesis, but close that absolute value, and then dt. The great news for us is this is a calculator required section, so we can actually find this answer pretty quick and easy using the calculator. So to do that, step one of the process is you're going to take, and in the calculator, you're going to put that equation. You'll have absolute value bars, and I'll show you where to find those. This will be the sine, and then when we're graphing stuff, we always want to change it out to be an x, no matter what the variable is they're talking about. So we'll put that into y1 on our calculator. Then step 2, we'll go ahead and graph that. And then step 3, we're going to go into the calc menu. So we're going to hit second, calc, and then inside that calc menu, we're looking to take an integral. So we'll choose the number 7 option, which is integral of f of x dx. The calculator will ask us a couple of questions. We'll answer them, and then at the bottom of the screen, it's going to say integral of f of x dx equals, and whatever that is will be our answer right there. So we come back in and open up our calculator. Well, I'm already in the y equals, so go to the y equals. It's the button in the top left there. Now to find your absolute value bars, the absolute value bars are under the math button on the left-hand side there. And if you push to the right to the num menu, ABS right there, that's absolute value bars. So if you hit enter on that, newer calculators will actually show you absolute value bars. Older calculators will say the letters ABS with a parenthesis, and you just kind of treat those parentheses like absolute value bars. So we've got a newer one. I'm going to type in sine x, raise it to the 1.5, and then close it. You want to make sure your mode is set to radian on here. The entire test is in radian mode, so make sure your calculator is set to radian mode before you graph this. So hit the mode button and then make sure radian is highlighted. And now we'll graph it. And there's our graph. And now to find out what we're looking for, we're going to hit second, calc, and then inside the calc menu, we'll choose that number 7 option, integral of f of x dx. Hit enter on that. It's now going to ask us a series of 2 questions. First, it wants us to find our lower limit. Well, the lower limit was our lower bound. That would be 0 in this situation. So I would type in 0, hit enter. Then it wants the upper limit. The upper limit would be pi in this situation. So then I type in pi and hit enter. It shades it in for me, and then at the bottom of the screen, I can see integral of f of x dx equals, and I get out of there 1.931. When you do AP Calc tests, the final answer, they usually want you to just round to 3 decimals. So we get 1.931, and that's going to be our final answer right there. So then you could put it down here next to your integral if you wanted to make it very clear to the people grading. But that's going to be our answer here. So the points on this would have been 2 points. You would have gotten 1 point for setting up your integral, and then you would have gotten a second point for making sure you got the answer correct. Thanks for watching my video. If you liked it, please click that like button and subscribe. And also share it with your friends and anyone else you know who might be crying about an upcoming AP Calc test. You can find more videos from me, more sample AP Calc questions, and my complete AP Calc study guide over at my website, apcalcprep.com. Have a great one.